Hello everyone, this is our second class. In this class, we will talk about population genetics, and we will try to solve some question related to this topic. Okay, so let's begin. Before going into the question, I would like to give small background about this topic. What is the population? So population is a group of individual of the same species. Okay, so yeah. So population is a group of individual of the same species occupying a given area that in there they can freely interbreed and produce fertile offspring in nature. Okay, so suppose there are 1 2 3 4, okay, and five different type of individuals is there. Okay, so each individual referring to one kind of population, not uh, like this purple one referring to one population and this yellow one referring to another population. Okay, so this population is a group of individual which belong to the same species. Okay, and they occupying some given area in that particular space. They can freely interbreed to each other and produce the fertile offspring to maintain their population for the future generation. Okay, so uh, yeah, so this is population. So what is population genetics? In population genetic is the study of genetic variation in groups or population and how it changes over time. It is studied within this population genetics. Okay, so what population genetics is tell, like how the genetic variation in each groups or in each population changes over the time. Okay, it is discussed in this study which is called as the population genetics. Okay, so a population is a group of individual with common set of genes that live in a same geographic area and they can interbreed to produce the fertile offsprings. Okay, so the population is having means it should be having the same kind of species which is having the common set of genes. Okay, so yeah, so what is gene? um, so some terms is important terms is there that we should understand. So what is gene? Gene is a short sequence of DNA that encode a certain kind of trait or certain kind of character. Okay, and what is allele? Allele is a alternative version or different variant of any kind of gene. Okay, so we will means understand well by this diagram. Okay, so suppose this is the homologous chromosome. Okay, so homologous chromosome means they are very much identical to or similar, I can say. Okay, not identical but this is similar to each other. Okay, so suppose we are talking about eye color. Okay, so eye color is a certain kind of trait. Okay, it is a trait. This trait or this character is encoded by any kind of gene. Okay, so this trait is called as gene. Okay, and yeah, so this gene suppose present on chromosome number uh, 14. Okay, suppose this is chromosome number 14 where two homologous chromosome is there, and this is the locus 1, locus 2, locus 3. Okay, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, and this is 7. Okay, so these are the locus and this is the chromosome number 14, suppose. Okay, so yeah, chromosome number 14 and this is the locus. So we are talking about this chromosome number 14 third locus, okay, which encode the eye color. Okay, so the gene is eye color, okay, but the allele is either this eye color can be or could be the blue eyes, or it could be the brown eyes. Okay, so or it can be both, like in both the chromosome it can be present as blue eyes or it can be present as brown eyes. Okay, so for the better understanding, here we mentioned its heterozygous form, that is the capital B and small b. Okay, so each like this capital B is dominant allele, which represent the brown eye color, and this is small b representing the blue color. Okay, so this is the recessive allele. Okay, so these two are the variant of eye color. Okay, so these two are the variant of eye colors, so that's why these two thing we can call as allele. Okay, and the trait, the characteristic is coded by gene. Okay, understood? Or you can say, like in one gene there is two allele, allele 1 and allele 2. Okay, so in allele 1 it can be it can have different variant, and this allele 2 is having also different variant. Okay, so like that. Then what is gene pool? Gene pool is the complete set of genetic information present in all the alleles in all the genetic loci of all the individual of a population. Okay, so suppose this is a complete population, so all the genetic information present in all the individual of all the means in that particular population is called as the genetic pool of that particular population. Okay, this is the genetic pool or genetic information of that particular pool. Okay, genetic pool or gene pool, this is the complete information of genetic information of particular population. Okay, then what is allelic frequency? Allelic frequency is the percentage of an organism in a population that carrying a particular allele. Okay, so like allelic frequency is how much that particular allele present in the genetic constitute of any individual. Okay, so means there are allele is the nothing but different variants, so particular variant is present in how much amount or how much percentage in a organism. Okay, or in a individual, so that is called as the allelic frequency. Okay, so allelic frequency in a gene pool determine the genetic change for a population. Okay, so if allelic frequency, what does mean by this line? Okay, allelic frequency if changing, so the population genetic information is also changing. Okay, because the basic unit of gene what we have seen, like it is the allele. Okay, so if allele is changing, it means some it is affecting the genetic information of a particular population. Okay, so composition of gene pool may change over time due to certain factor. If no change in the allele frequency from one generation to the next generation, then the we can consider this gene pool is means present in a static or in a equilibration. That state is called as a this state this state is called as a genetic equilibrium. Okay, this is called as a genetic equilibrium. Genetic equilibrium. Okay, this state is called as genetic equilibrium, where no change in the allelic frequency from one generation to another generation. Okay, So yeah, so this is the genetic equilibrium, okay, but in nature it is not possible, okay, because somehow there is a certain factor which is affecting our genetic frequency, or we can genotype frequency, or we can say allelic frequency, okay. So we will see what are those factors which is through which the genetic frequency or the genetic information can be changed, or allelic frequency can be changed, okay. So in this genetic equilibrium, two scientists, which is Hardy and Wimber, in 1908 told five conditions, or state five conditions, like frequency of allele and genotype in a population will remain constant from generation to generation if the population is stable and in the genetic equilibrium, okay. So they gave one theory which is called as the Hardy-Wimber equilibrium, okay. So why we need this concept? Because suppose you are having uh, like pink color, suppose, okay. So you are having pink color, not not pink color. Suppose you are having three kind of possibilities, okay. uh, One is homozygous dominant, another one is the heterozygous, okay, and another one is the uh, homozygous recessive, okay. Suppose this is producing red color, okay. This is also red color because here dominant color is red, okay, and it is producing white color, suppose, okay. So by seeing the phenotypic characteristic, you can you can't identify like um, this red color is belonging from this allele, okay, or this allele, okay, means it is coming from the homozygous dominant or heterozygous. You can't identify by looking the phenotypic character. So to find out the allelic level, okay, so this concept is required, okay. So means this is not by nature it is not possible, but theoretically we can assume, and we can find out certain clues about the phenotypic characteristic, okay. So what this scientist told is, like they described one theoretical circumstances, like the pop in there five condition is applied, okay. If this condition is maintained in that particular population, it means the population will remain the population genetic information will remain constant from generation to generation, okay, and it maintain the genetic equilibrium, and it will be stable, okay. So what are the those five condition? First one is the population the population is having the large breeding population, okay. It means it is having a large area where the population size should be you, very much infinite, okay. The population size should be very large, it should be very large, okay. Why it should be very large? Because if some by chance, if some individual migrate or from here to another place, then it won't affect the whole genetic information of that particular population, okay. This is called as the genetic drift, okay. So what is genetic drift? Genetic drift is the random changes in the means in the genetic information by chance, okay. It is not by the natural selection, but it is by chance the genetic constitute will change, okay. because of certain circumstances it change. So if the population size will small, then one individual loss will affect the whole population. Okay, so so to maintain the equilibrium, the population size should be very much large. Okay, and very much large, so that the genetic drift can't won't affect that particular population. Okay, and second thing is the random mating. Okay, so random mating means, here in normal condition what happens, like in if we will see like human. Okay, so in human there are two alleles, suppose, if I will say, or I can say like gene is height. Okay, gene is height. So what is happening, height there are two traits, one is tall, okay, one is short. Okay, so tall always wanted to marry with tall person. Okay, and short is also wanted to marry with short person. Okay, so this is the like, um, it is the real scenario. Okay, so it is the general tendency, it is we can say like it is the selective mating. Okay, so here the if you wanted to maintain the stability in genetic information, then there should be random mating, means each individual is having the opportunity to mate. Okay, so like there should be no biasness between the, or there is no selection between the individuals, each individual can interbreed to each other. Okay, so that flexibility should be there, then only the genetic equilibrium will be achieved. Okay, so this is another point. The third point is there should be no mutation. Okay, suppose in any case, if by any factor the genetic constitute will be mutated, then the genetic equilibrium will be also affected. Okay, so that's why there should be no mutation. Okay, then there should be no immigration or no emigration. Okay, like it's the area should be isolated, it should be closed. From here no individual should go outside, and no individual should come from outside to inside. Okay, so this then only the equilibrium will be maintained. If suppose one outsider come into this population, then it can affect, okay, by mating it can affect the genetic constitute. Okay, like that if one individual go from here, then the genetic balance will be changed. Okay, so that thing also take care by that population. Okay, then there should be no natural selection, like every individual should have sufficient chance to survive, and there is no selection pressure should be there. Okay, because in that case the individual will evolve, and they can evolution only can be done by their when their genetic constitute will change, they try to be superior to the another individual. Okay, so that thing should not happen in this Hardy-Wimber equilibrium. Okay, so these are the five conditions. If these five condition will maintain, then we can find out the we can obtain the genetic equilibrium, and we can find out the allelic frequency and all those things. Okay, so what are these five conditions? First, the population size should be infinite or large. Okay, so that genetic drift won't affect that particular population. There should be random mating, Okay, so there is no selection biasness should be there. Okay, there should be no mutation, there is no immigration or emigration. Okay, there the geographical area should be closed so that no one can enter inside and no one can go outside. Okay, and there should be no natural selection, the selection pressure should be not there. Okay, so these are the five conditions which you have to remember. Okay, so related to this condition, one question asked in GATE 2020 14, which is, in a relatively large but finite and closed population of sexually reproducing diploid organism, okay, the frequency of homozygous genotype changes from 0.4 to 0.50, and that of homozygous recessive changes from 0.40 to 0.41 in a span of 10 generations. Okay, which of the following is most likely cause for the above change in the frequency of dominant dominant pp homozygous from 0.40 to 0.50? Okay, so it is present in the Hardy-Wimber equilibrium condition. It is no, it is saying the population is large but it is finite in number and it is closed population. Okay, so that thing is possible, but how this dominant what we have seen is in the Hardy-Wimber, here we have seen that the major idea is DNA content should not change, the allelic frequency or the genetic frequency should not change. But here what we have seen is the genetic frequency, the allelic frequency is increasing. Okay, in both the cases, the homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive. In homozygous dominant it is increased from 0.40 to 0.50, and in homozygous recessive condition it is increased from 0.40 to 0.41. Okay, so how it is increased? It means it is not in equilibrium. Okay, so what should be the reason for this thing? Okay, first one is the non-random matting, second one is the random genetic drift, third one is the selection, and fourth one is the combination of non-random matting and random genetic drift. So we will talk about one by one. Okay, then we will see what is the correct answer of this. So in non-random matting, when we see, the non-random matting generally occurs on the yeah so non-random matting means there is a selection pressure. Okay, means it is not randomly matting. Hardy-Wimber population will all means only maintain when the mating will be random. Okay, here the random matting should be there, but here it is stating it is non-random matting. So if it is non-random matting, then it is a selecting pressure will happen and it can change the genotypic frequency. Okay, but it will lead to the how it will change through the genetic drift. Okay, sorry, not through genetic drift. So it is non random matting. Non random matting means it is through the selecting pressure. Okay, suppose tall is selecting only tall person, short is selecting only short person. Okay, so but this thing won't affect the, it won't increase the homozygous dominant or homozygous recessive population. Okay, when you cross two homozygous, okay, so sorry, so all will be like your homozygous dominant only, like that in recessive condition also it will be all will be recessive only. So the total number of the individual in a population will remain constant, which is 1. Okay, okay, so if you cross homozygous to homozygous, it will always be homozygous. Okay, so total number will be common. Okay, the allele is just if suppose there is 4 allele, okay, so here also you will get the 4 allele. Okay, AA and AA. Okay, so here also you will get the 4 allele. So the total number of the population will be same only. Okay, so in that case, in non-random mating case, what is happening when you are having it is only affecting the heterozygous population. Okay, because heterozygous population in each generation, the heterozygous population is reducing. Okay, because it these two heterozygous when made to each other, then it will produce a, okay, a and a. Okay, so here the heterozygous population is reducing its means the allelic frequency, it is losing as a homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive condition. Okay, and only two means from first generation you are getting only two as a homozygous sorry, heterozygous. In the next generation again when they two will mate, then again half of the population will be homozygous. Okay, and half of the population will be homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive. Okay, then only half will be means half of half, one fourth will be the reduction rate of heterozygous. Okay, so this kind of scenario only affects the heterozygous population, not the homozygous population. Okay, so this won't be the correct answer. The second one is the random genetic drift. Okay, so as I earlier told you, genetic drift only happens on the short population size or small population size, but here in the question it is mentioned it is a large population size. Okay, so here genetic drift won't affect this condition. Okay, it can't change the genetic frequency. Okay, so it also won't be the correct answer. The third option, this fourth option, combination of non-random mating and random genetic drift is also not possible because it is the combination of these two things. Okay, so it won't be also not possible. Then third one is the C, selection. Okay, if there is a selection means taller is having or homozygous dominant is having the chance to survive more. Okay, or having the chance to mate to each other and can produce the fertile offspring. Okay, in this condition only the homozygous dominant can increase their population size. Okay, when you are having the selection pressure, okay, means environment or environment wanted to means giving chance to survive taller individuals. Okay, because it is in the mating it is selecting the taller characteristic. Okay, so in this case only the homozygous dominant or homozygous means homozygous dominant will increase from 0.40 to 0.50. So the option C will be the correct answer. Okay, got it? Selection will be the correct answer because in non-random mating condition when you are having selection pressure, that time the heterozygous is more affecting. Okay, not the homozygous one. And when you are random genetic drift, it is not possible because the population size is very large. Okay, the third one is that combination of both the thing, that is also not possible. And the last option is the option C, that is the selection. So here when the genetic equilibrium will maintain when there is no selection or there is no natural selection pressure. So if it is selection, then it can change or it can favor one particular characteristic to survive or can to mate to each other and can produce that particular kind of characteristic. So in that scenario only the pp changes from 0.40 to 0.50. Okay, so yeah, that's it for in this class. We will meet in the another class with some other questions. So till then, take care.